Nicole Golden, the Executive Director of Texas Gun Sense. We're a statewide gun violence, the Texas Coalition to Prevent Gun Violence. Many of our partners stand behind me today, along with survivors and parents and relatives and loved ones from Uvalde. We are here really for a simple message. The Community Safety Committee heard HB 2744 more than a week ago. Survived parents without their children. To the committee. The committee had an opportunity to vote. We had the vote. Chair Guillen selected bills to be voted on, and they adjourned without voting on the bill to raise the age of purchase to 21 for semi-automatic rifles like those used to murder 19 children and 2 educators at Robb Elementary almost a year ago. There is no excuse for not putting the bill to a vote. We are here to say we're angry, we're heartbroken, and we are more committed than ever to keep on going as long as it takes. I'm going to hand the mic over to my fellow advocates, faith leaders, gun owners, parents, and survivors so they can share their message today too.
My name's Bea Moorhead. I'm the Executive Director of Texas Impact, Texas's oldest and largest interfaith advocacy organization. Faith leaders throughout Texas and the U.S. are begging lawmakers to pass legislation like HB 2744. Texas Impact's job is to support people of faith as they raise their voices in the public square. This session, we've seen unprecedented work on the part of faith leaders calling for practical, incremental strategies to reduce gun violence. Yet despite pleas from a diverse coalition of advocates, including clergy from across the state, some of whom are with us, the House Select Committee for Community Safety refused yesterday to vote on HB 2744. The bill's author himself has said that he did not support raising the age previously, but his personal experience changed his heart. To provide that same personal experience for every member of the legislature would require the sacrifice of more than 3,000 additional Texas children. Instead, we urge legislators to heed the testimony of Uvalde families, families of victims of other mass shootings, and their own colleagues. We urge the committee to do the right thing and vote out House Bill 2744.
Amen.
Hello, I'm Robin Breed, and I'm a volunteer with the Texas chapter of Moms Demand Action. It's been almost 2 weeks since the Community Safety Select Committee, chaired by Representative Guillen, heard House Bill 2744. Representative Tracy King from Uvalde spoke from the heart while presenting this very reasonable piece of legislation that would raise the age to purchase semi-automatic style weapons with detachable magazines. We were told members of the gun lobby assured Representative King that this bill was a reasonable ask and that those families could be asking for so much more. 21 Uvalde families attended this hearing and waited for over 13 hours to testify. These brave and broken families put their trauma on public display in this Capitol. Since the hearing, other bills have been voted out of this committee, but for some reason that I do not understand, Chairman Guillen has not called a vote on raise the age. So these families, as a direct result, are being re-traumatized by having to come back to this building and beg lawmakers to do their job. They should not have to be here. If this bill dies in committee, these grieving families will know that our lawmakers didn't care enough to do this one thing. Lawmakers, both Republican and Democrat alike, stated during that hearing that if this bill had been law a year ago, it would have stopped that murderer, and those 19 children and 2 teachers would still be with us today. Representative Burrows, who is also on the committee, will have the power to bring this to the floor of the House as the chair of the Calendars Committee, and we hear he is unlikely to do so. I guess he wasn't sufficiently moved by the information he learned in the investigative committee, of which he was the chair. This is the book that he helped write. Dade Phelan, the Speaker of the House, said publicly at the beginning of this session that he was open to a debate on raising the age. So now we're going to find out if he's going to keep his word. And remember, when people that work in this building tell you that they don't have the votes, we should all be asking, where are our champions for these murdered children? Who are they? And yes, I'm a gun safety activist, but I'm also a mother, I'm a gun owner, I'm a Texan, and I'm mad. And I'm mad for the families of Uvalde, and I'm mad for the future families and communities that will be impacted by gun violence. They can pass bills that pour more guns into our schools and arm teachers, but if they aren't also stopping the next 18-year-old from purchasing these type of weapons, they will have blood on their hands the next time a massacre occurs. Not voting does not absolve them from guilt. So to the members that are blocking this from making it to the floor, I say keep your thoughts and prayers and do something. And know that we will never forget that you had the votes to move this bill forward and chose not to. And to Chairman Guillen, put this bill to a vote. It will save lives. That's right. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Christina Delgado, Southwest Regional Advocacy Associate for Community Justice Action Fund. We are a national organization run by people of color, working to reduce gun violence in communities of color by empowering those closest to the pain. And I myself am a survivor of gun violence. I'm also a gun owner, and I'm also angry. I sat alongside my community and friends who endured the first major call to action on May 18th of 2018, when we experienced a shooting at Santa Fe High School, where my daughter was a 7th grader, and their school was on lockdown, and I got the I love you text, and that I'm scared, while my friends were searching for their children. We were able to find some of them. My friend Rhonda lost her daughter, who lay dying in the art rooms, while she, as a bus driver for Santa Fe ISD, took children to the resiliency, or the Center for Everyone to be Reunited. My friend Rosie's son risked his life to save 7 students, and he was shot through the door. We are deeply disappointed to know that now, after what is coming on 5 years since the first tragedy, the first promise of action, the first thoughts and prayers given to Texas, given to Texas parents, given to our community, these lawmakers believe that as we embark on the brutal massacre of 4th graders who were beyond recognition on May 24th of 2023. It's unfortunate that Rep. Guillen and Rep. Burrows believe that not even allowing a vote is appropriate at this time. Leadership. Leadership means sacrifice. It means strength. It means courage. 4th graders stood, ran, hid with their friends, got their phones, made phone calls, while thousands of rounds of 5.56 ammunition from an AR were being shot in their classroom. And lawmakers are afraid of a vote. I stand here beside these families as a prime example of what happens when there is no action taken, when there is no prevention put in place. And we are now going to come on the close of another session. And what other community is going to have to stand beside mine of Santa Fe and these families in Uvalde and have nothing left but a notebook that was shot by the bullet that killed their son? If our 4th graders, if our children have enough strength to stand up against weapons of war in their classrooms, our lawmakers need to bring this bill for a vote and let the process work itself out. Because our children mean more than elections. They mean more than positions. And they mean more than getting criticized because you voted for what's right. Thank you.
My name is Manuel Rizzo, my wife Jalissa. We are aunt and uncle to Jacqueline Cáceres. We're also her godparents. We should have protected her, her classmates, and the two teachers. We allowed them to die. They were murdered, and it could have been prevented. HB 2744 would have prevented this, including other common sense gun regulations out there. Now I want you to imagine something. What she went through that day, laying there, bleeding there, waiting for help. Unimaginable. But the politicians here don't see that. In fact, they don't even hear us. We were there giving testimony. They disrespected us by not giving us a time to talk about our families during the day. We're giving testimony after midnight. Again, they don't listen to us. We're demanding them to take a vote. We know there's 7 of the committee members that will vote yes. What in the hell are we waiting for?
Please do the right thing. That's all I can say.
So we're here pretty often, just about every Tuesday. We were here yesterday, we're here today. Rep. Guillen has continuously refused to put HB 2744 up for a vote to take it out of committee, to put it onto the House floor. I spoke with him yesterday afterwards and asked him why. He told me that he was already ensured that there wouldn't be the votes to make it on the House floor. We didn't ask that. And we're not asking anything from here on out. We demand you have the courage and the testicular fortitude to put up this bill to go for vote so that we can get it out of committee. If you are too cowardice, just like Mariano Pargas and the other cops that sat outside and waited 77 minutes to go in and protect our kids, just say so. We are sick and tired, and the gloves are off. We're not going to be nice anymore. You can sit up there in your nice chair in your office and laugh and joke while you're on the floor, not paying attention to anything that's going on. We don't care. So Rep. Guillen, I'm calling you out specifically. Do the right thing. Like I said, you told me that you wouldn't. And I don't care. You're going to. We demand it. Mr. Phelan, you have the power to make him do it. And unless you want to be known as a coward like the cops in Uvalde, then you will do so. Dan Patrick, we're also calling you out because we are sick and tired of you hiding and being quiet on the subject as well. We know that you don't care because it was 17 brown kids that got murdered, but enough is enough. Do your damn job.
That's right.
You've heard from Uzziah's parents, you've heard from Jackie's godparents, and you've heard from a broad spectrum of Texans who support this legislation, like the 80% of Texans who support raising the age of purchase of semi-automatic rifles. You've heard how angry we are, but you've also heard how committed we are. We're not going anywhere. If any leaders here think that we're going to be silent, they're going to see quite the opposite. We'll be here as long as it takes. Again, there's no excuse for not putting HB 2744 for a vote. There's a month left of session. Bills that aren't getting hearings now will probably not make it. It's really hard for me to say, but that's why we're all here, because it's true. And it'll never, ever be acceptable. And this is on leadership of this committee to say that everybody here who was a speaker is available for questions. And thank you so much for spreading this message today. It's extremely important to get it out.
Thank you.